Are customers knocking down your door every day? Are you flooded with work? Does your phone never stop ringing? For most private investigators, the answer to these questions is a resounding no. In fact, many PIs struggle to find consistent work and often have too few cases on their desk at any one given time. As someone who has been in this industry for some time, I know firsthand how difficult it can be to break into the world of private investigations. When I first started out, I had a hard time finding jobs on my own. It seemed like all of the other PIs were already established and had a steady stream of clients coming their way. However, I discovered a way to ensure that I stayed busy every day and was able to pay the bills without sacrificing quality of life or work. And all this could be achieved with just one successful sale. In today's video, we're going to explore the world of subcontracting as a professional private investigator. This is one of the best ways to get experience and maintain a steady workload. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. Subcontracting typically involves working on surveillance cases for national firms or local agencies that specialize in workers' compensation, infidelity, and child custody investigations. These types of cases often require long hours sitting in your car out on surveillance, which can be physically demanding. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't subcontracting a bit taboo amongst PIs? And yes, there is some stigma associated with it. Some people view subcontractors as being paid lower rates than direct hire investigators who work directly for clients. However, the reality is that most national firms and local agencies rely on subcontractors to help them manage their workload. These types of cases can be lucrative, especially if you're able to secure a steady stream of business from these firms or agencies. So let's talk about pay rates in more detail. Generally speaking, most subcontractors will offer around $40 to $50 per hour for surveillance work. However, this rate may vary depending on the specific case and the firm or agency that hired you. Some subcontractors also offer mileage reimbursement, which can range from 50 to 65 cents per mile traveled. Others may pay a flat fee for travel time, while some might not reimburse at all. Now, I want to share with you my own experience as a subcontractor. When I first started out, I worked for $25 an hour on a flat rate basis without any mileage or travel reimbursement. This was tough work that required long hours of surveillance and report writing. However, it allowed me to build up my caseload and gain valuable experience in the PI industry. And yes, there are some subcontractors who still pay much lower rates than others. These types of firms often have a reputation for being the bottom feeders or the low ballers. These firms may offer as little as $17 an hour, which can be tough to stomach if you're used to working at a higher rate. However, they do exist, and sometimes it is necessary to work with them in order to gain experience and build up your caseload. So where do you find subcontracting opportunities? Here are a few resources that I recommend. The first place to look is your state Private Investigators Association. These organizations often have listservs or forums where members post jobs and leads. You should also check with the national associations like NCISS, National Council of Investigation and Security Specialists, and WAD, World Association of Detectives. Both groups also offer listservs for their members. Remember, finding subcontracting work requires effort and networking. Don't just join an association expecting the jobs to come flooding in. Rather, put some time into building relationships with other PIs and firms, and you'll more likely find consistent work. In fact, I found that being part of a state or a national PI association can be incredibly valuable for finding subcontracting opportunities. These organizations often have established networks and connections within the industry, which can lead to job postings and referrals. Additionally, many PIs who are looking for subcontractors will post their needs on these listservs or forums. And this is a great way to get your foot in the door and start building relationships with potential clients. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but what about the quality of work? Won't working as a subcontractor compromise my standards? And that is a valid concern. However, many national firms and local agencies are looking for high-quality investigators who can deliver results. They're not just interested in hiring anyone, they want to find experienced PIs who can handle their cases professionally and with care. So if you do decide to pursue subcontracting opportunities, make sure you're working with reputable firms or agencies that share your values and standards. This will help ensure that you maintain a high level of quality work while also building up your caseload and gaining valuable experience in the industry. Subcontracting can be a great way for PIs to gain experience and build their business. It's not always easy. There are downsides to working as a subcontractor, but it can be incredibly rewarding if you're able to secure consistent work from reputable firms or agencies. So don't be afraid to explore this option. Reach out to your state PI association, join national organizations like NCISS and WAD, and start building relationships with other PIs and firms in the industry. You might also look into online PI groups like on Facebook and other social media platforms. This is a great way to get leads too. Besides surveillance, you may be able to pick up some subcontracting work doing neighborhood canvasses, interviews, or even tagging along with another investigator as a backup investigator. I know several good PIs out there that work almost exclusively as subcontractors. They do not want to go out chasing clients. They don't want to have to rely on their sales skills, and they don't want to deal with the headaches and the pains of dealing directly with the end client. And they can make just as much money because they don't have the overhead costs and they don't have to invest the time in all of those other business activities. I know one investigator who primarily does background investigations for other investigators too. He doesn't do much advertising to the general public. They just network and reach out to other investigators and offer a premium background service to them, which they can then add to their line of services offered. And I even know a guy that primarily does asset searches, locates, and skip traces, mostly for other investigators. Now that we've discussed the benefits and challenges of subcontracting, it's time to think about your future in this field. As a seasoned investigator with experience as a subcontractor, I want to encourage you to take your career to the next level with these simple 7 steps. Step 1, build your network. Networking is key in any industry, but especially so in private investigations where relationships and reputation are everything. Attend conferences, join online forums or groups focused on PI work, and connect with other investigators who share similar interests. This will help you stay up to date on the latest trends and best practices, and it will also open doors to new opportunities. Step 2, develop your skills. As a subcontractor, it's essential to continually develop your skills in areas such as surveillance techniques, interview strategies, digital forensics, or whatever area you want to work in. Consider taking courses for attending workshops that focus on these topics. This will not only enhance your ability, but also make you more attractive to potential clients. Step 3 is to expand your services. Once you've gained experience, gained some education, and built a solid reputation, consider expanding your services beyond subcontracting work. You might want to explore offering direct hire investigation services or even starting your own PI agency if that's something that you're interested in. This will allow you to take on more complex cases while also increasing your earning potential. Step 4 is to stay up to date with industry developments. The world of private investigations is constantly evolving, so it's crucial to stay informed about new technologies, laws, and regulations. Attend PI industry events. Read relevant publications such as Working PI Magazine and PI Magazine. Those are 2 excellent sources of information, and participate in online discussions to ensure you're always ahead of the curve. Step 5 is to consider specializing. As your experience grows, you might find that certain areas of investigation interest you more than others. This could be due to a specific skill set or a passion for working with particular types of clients, such as family law cases. If so, consider specializing in these areas and developing expertise accordingly. Step 6, join professional associations. Membership in professional associations like your state PI association, NCISS, the National Council of Investigation and Security Specialists, or WAD, World Association of Detectives, can provide valuable networking opportunities while also demonstrating your commitment to the industry. These organizations often offer training, resources, and support for their members. Don't miss out on these benefits. Step 7, set clear goals. Take some time to reflect on what you want to achieve in your career as a private investigator. Are there specific goals, such as annual earnings, that you'd like to reach? Do you have aspirations for starting your own agency or becoming an expert in a particular area of investigation? By following these steps, you will be well on your way to taking your career as a subcontractor and as a private investigator to the next level. Remember to stay focused, adaptable, and committed to delivering high quality work that meets and exceeds client expectations. With persistence and hard work, you can build a successful business as a private investigator, even if it starts out as subcontracting work.